We're joined by artist Conor Fleck, who will be discussing his upcoming exhibition. Hi Conor, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you had that urge to become an artist from a young age?
I grew up over on the east of Belfast. My mother was an artist. Before having 5 kids, it was a case of that was her dream, to be an artist. That was my major influence. She obviously helped us do our art at school, and having all her old sketchbooks from the art college was great and inspirational.
We're here today to talk about your exhibition, Works from the Surgery. Tell us a little bit more about the collection.
It's an exhibition going out Thursday the 15th of October in the Hollywood Library, and it's on until Saturday the 17th, and basically that'll be open normal library hours. It's in a gallery they have upstairs in there. So basically the show, it's called Works from the Surgery, and that relates to the fact that it was painted in my dad's old dental surgery. Now he's unfortunately suffering from Alzheimer's now, which is difficult for the family, but generally, you know, the whole show is dedicated to him. There I am painting in his old space, which is still there, and it's nostalgic for me because I used to paint in the attic room whenever I started out 20 years ago.
Your work tends to show traditional values in painting.
Traditional values to me would suggest sort of traditional techniques, oil painting on canvas, which I do, charcoal studies, life studies, all the kind of classical trained elements, which again would have been influenced by my mother, and going through the art college and seeing great art in museums around the world, you know.
How much time would you spend on your art?
Depends. A picture could take years to finish. It may only have 45 paint strokes on it, but it could take years because you're never quite finished until you know it. It's not a planned thing. It's not a sort of paint by numbers. It's very much a kind of feeling. You kind of feel it out. I like the painting to lead itself really and take me through a journey with it. And
what tends to be your inspiration for your art?
Everywhere I look, I'm seeing something that's inspiring, but it is a sort of inner thing rather than a definite grasping of something out there. Now my art is figurative, so that generally means it's real, you know, you can see what it is. Abstract is a tendency to move away from that, maybe be suggestive of things but not specific. So I think when people look at my work they can see what I'm painting. So the inspiration just comes from inside. It's the poetical element in me, I suppose.
And you also have a degree in music. Can we see that translate into your work?
I think what I've come to discover is that music and art, they've many connections. You know, they're very similar in their structure. A good piece of music, you know, needs a good bit of colour through it. So it's just that translation through the oral or the you know, through the hand and the paintbrush.
This is your first body of work to be exhibited in 4 years, and it's dedicated to your father, who now has Alzheimer's. Will this influence your work in the future?
It certainly helped me with the feeling for this show. I think I've got a very nostalgic feeling. There I was painting in his old surgery, him being a dentist. Whenever I started, I was painting in his attic room. He was kind enough to let me do that. So I would have been painting my pictures up there and he was drilling teeth downstairs. So it was kind of an unusual juxtaposition, you know, of things going on, but it was good fun. So I think that whole being back where I started from has added to the nostalgia. Memory's his problem at the moment, so I'm sort of working with that idea that, you know, a picture is worth 1,000 words, basically, is the old saying. So I'm kind of hoping it'll stimulate him, you know, more, because the verbal side is gone, you know, but he still responds to visuals.
Do you find it easy to exhibit your work? I know some artists like to keep it for themselves, or do you enjoy that aspect of it?
I think I used to be like that. I used to literally be fearful of letting go of them. I don't know if that was just because you didn't want the criticism that clearly, you know, comes, or letting go of your baby, as it were. So I found it hard back then, but I don't really anymore. I think it's more about artists needing to show their work. You need to actually get your work out there, so that if that's of any help to a young artist just starting out, you know, get it out there, get it anywhere you can. I think there's a lot of opportunities now through all sorts of, you know, shows, cafes, you know, anything really. Anywhere you can show them, try and put a show together.
For people that are interested, what can they actually expect from the exhibition, and what impact are you hoping to have on them?
I'm hoping that everybody who hears about it will come and see it. It's on just for the 3 days. Again, it's, you know, art can be a difficult thing for some people to not necessarily to look at, but to actually be bothered to go and see, and I think that's important. You know, I think everybody needs art in their life. I think if you took art out of this scenario, you know, it'd be pretty boring. So I'm hoping everybody will go and see it, and I'm hoping that they'll get something personal out of, even if it's one picture or a little part of a picture. I'm hoping that it'll have something for everybody. There's information online. There's I have a website which is connorfleck.com, or they could contact the gallery, obviously the Hollywood Library, and also Facebook. I have a page, or it's Connor Fleck Artist on Facebook. So there's a few avenues there, or just type my name in online and you'll find something.